Gamers of Reddit, what are the strangest things you've heard over an open mic? Was playing Call of Duty a few years ago, and there was a bunch of kids mouthing off, "I'm 35. I generally ignored it and tried to be a good sport, because they were just being kids. I get my ass totally handed to me, as usual, and I'm sitting in the lobby after a particularly brutal loss, when one of the kids goes, "Hey Beacons 56, do you like dragons?" Ha. Yeah, I guess. That's good, because I was dragging my nuts across your face the entire game. I'll admit, I still laugh thinking about it now. I joined a game and straight away heard, the flesh was raw pink. I asked what flesh, and got an almost instant reply, none of your ducking business. Haven't touched Black Ops since. Was playing Dawn of War on TeamSpeak, and this guy got in a loud, heated argument accusing his wife of having an affair, because she walked in the door at like midnight. We were going to kick him from the channel, but it got really juicy. Then it got scary. Then it got sad. I think he was playing to distract himself. Raided with a gal during Blackwing Lair who had 2 kids around the same age. It'd be around 11 PM, and we'd hear these elementary school aged kids say stuff like, "Mommy, we're hungry," and she'd respond with, "Not now, mommy's raiding." We booted her after a month though, because she was an awful healer. Edit. Also there was the off-tank during Black Temple that lived with his mother for cultural reasons. Every now and then, we'd hear his mom start shouting at him in some North African language, and he'd start shouting right back. Dude was a complete duckwad, and would not use push to talk. Real arrogant mother ducker, but a great tank that we had trouble replacing. Edit 2. And there was the terrible paladin who flat out refused to listen to any suggestions I made to him. So he ultimately got the boot once we were able to replace him. After he was kicked, he messaged the GM accusing him of discrimination and threatening to sue. Apparently the shitty paladin was in a wheelchair, which absolutely no one was aware of, so what? Was playing League while talking to some guys over TeamSpeak. Dude says he'll be right back, but leaves his mic on. Out of nowhere, you hear him and his dad getting into a massive fight. When the fight was nearly over, we heard the dad scream, "And why does your room smell like shit?" And the kid replied, "'Cause I shit in it." Dude hasn't been back on that TeamSpeak since. Back when Modern Warfare 2 was in its heyday, I joined a lobby that happened to have a bunch of Brits queued together. When teams were made they were all on one team, and my team was all random Americans. One of us says, "Oh hey, it's funny how that happened," to which one of the Brits replies, "Shut up you fat American pig." By God it was on at that point. It was American Revolution Part 2, Freedom Rings twice. To their credit it was super close. But we wanted, not needed, to win so bad we became a fine-tuned machine and began dominating. By the last 10 seconds of the match, we knew we won and began chanting, "USA, USA, USA," over and over. They tried to object, but our chants were too much, and they left the lobby. I haven't found an experience like that ever again, but God it was amazing. My raid group was pretty diverse. 2 guys from the Bronx, SP, myself and another from the UK, and a few from Norway, Finland, and one from Ukraine. We were pretty new to the game and hadn't cleared the final boss of a very tough raid yet, but we were coming close. One of the Bronx guys died straight away, lag issues constantly, but we'll never kick him, but proceeded to do a live freestyle rap about what each person was doing in the raid in lieu of a commentary. Shit was amazing. Wish we had recording software back then. Second was the Ukraine guy. Just signs on to TeamSpeak one day and says, "War has broken out. I won't be on for the raid," laughs, signs out and repeats the same message in game to the guildies who weren't on TeamSpeak. Kinda worried for a few weeks, but he eventually managed to contact one of us via our forum to say all was well, and he'd moved to a new safer city with family while things die down. Can't wait for him to get back, his DPS was straight up demonic. Raiding Kara in World of Warcraft. Backstory, there was this player, Josh Warrior, who had joined our guild. He was, as one can easily deduce, a warrior. He was as terrible can be. Didn't know what a rotation was. Couldn't deer properly. He was only like 11. So we let it slide, but his general inability to learn or even try to learn made his life as a guild much short. The story. It was near the end of BC, and my druid tank wasn't very geared, relative to endgame, so I would use him to help out new, fresh guilds get through Kara, as I could sleep through any encounter and still maintain aggro, and not really worry. I decide to help out this one guild, and who shows up? Josh Warrior. I lolled and continued on. My bear was indestructible. Went was a fun conversation, everyone was chill and thankful of my help. I don't really remember where we were in the raid, when suddenly Josh Warrior flatly proclaims, "My dad just had a heart attack, I think he's dead." Progress comes to a stop. Holy shit. Did he need to go help him? Did he want to leave? We'd get a replacement. No, the ambulance is here and my dog is really big, if I go out of my room, he'll definitely get out and attack the paramedics. The most awkward silence ever ensued, and we continued on through a few trash packs. Finally, their guild leader stops the raid, and starts asking Josh how he's doing. Fine. I think he's dead. We can keep going though, I just want some loot. We finished the rest of the raid in near complete silence, except for me coordinating the encounters. I've never felt so awkward overwhelmed. Nobody else uttered a word. Every person from the guild whispered apologies and gave resounding thanks. That was, by far, the most memorable and ducked up raid ever. Not really strange as in creepy, but I was playing a CSGO match, when a kid on my team yelled, "Ha! Get ducked," after getting a kill. Then our entire team hears him screaming, crying, and begging for forgiveness from his mother beating him for cussing that loud. A couple years back on PSN I believe I heard the last argument one couple ever had. Playing GTA 4, donking around at the airport I overhear some lady scream, "I've been working all day, and all you've been doing is playing that stupid game." It developed into a huge fight. They were screaming back and forth for at least 15 minutes until his mic went quiet and his account logged off. Playing GTA 5, and some kid's dad comes in and starts telling the kid to go to his room. Kid refuses, and dad gets a little yelly. Finally dad says, "Fine, you don't have to leave." Then yells, "Honey, he's not gonna leave." Then I hear the unmistakable sounds of a couple having very loud sex. I thought it was hilarious, until I heard, "What the duck are you looking at? Just play your game. Come on honey, suck my cock." I muted that shit right away. Kid would rather be in a room with his parents ducking than quit GTA 5. Playing with a pack in Destiny, we had just finished a raid and we were taking a 15-minute smoke break before jumping into the next one. It was winter, and one of the guys had stepped outside for a quick smoke and still had his headset on. A few minutes into the break we hear an "oh shit." Then the sound of someone banging on doors and windows as he tried to get back inside his house. Apparently he has locked himself out and didn't have a way back in. Realizing he still had his headset, he put the earphones back on, and was like, "Guys, I need help. I'm locked out of my house without a jacket, and I don't have my phone." I asked if there was anyone that I could call. Dude couldn't recall his mother/dad/sister/etc. phone numbers off the top of his head. I asked where he lived, and started to pull up the non-emergency police contact for his area. Then he had a bright idea. "Dude, call the Arby's in State X, Town Y off Z Road and ask for Sarah, that's my sister. Tell her to call my mom so she can bring the spare set of keys over." So that's what I did. I called and she was the one to actually answer the phone. Phone is answered. Me, "Hey, is the assistant manager named Sarah there?" "Oh, yeah, that's me. What can I do for you?" Me, "This is a bit odd, but I'm playing an online game with your brother Andrew. He stepped out for a smoke and locked himself out without a jacket. He doesn't have his phone, so he told me to call you so you could call your mom to see if she can bring the spare keys over." Oh no, yeah I can't do that. Are you one of my brother's friends?" Me, "Nope, just met him online today. I live about 1500 miles from your location." Oh, okay, well thanks for calling and letting me know. I'll call mom and let her know. We say bye and phone call ends. About 5 minutes later I get a call from the same area code, different number though. and it's dude's mom in a slight panic asking if her son was okay, and having me let him know she was on her way right now. I played operator for about 20 minutes until she got to his place. One of the most interesting online gaming moments for me. TLDR, saved a kid from death by hypothermia. I was on a co-op mission on a World War II flight sim. There was around 16 of us playing, and one guy was pretty wasted. We were cruising along on the way to the target area, when suddenly we started hearing snoring, loud snoring. Some guys started yelling, "Wake up," but to no avail, and shortly after we hear a loud crashing and rattling over comms, followed by a duck, son of a bitch, I'm ducking bleeding. Guy passed out and smashed his head on the floor. Couldn't finish the mission cause we all were laughing so hard. A kid didn't want to drop from the game, so he went and took a crap, while still talking on life. You know games are intense. Was getting full on cussed out by a kid easily around 5 or 6. He was literally saying, "Duck you ducking cunt. I hope Satan rapes your ass and his spludge gets in your shitty eyes, you stupid little ass ducker." So we started firing back at him with everything we had. We kind of made him cry. Then his mom gets on the mic and starts yelling at us. She's telling us how we are setting a bad example for her child, and we shouldn't be using that kind of language around someone his age. So we went off on her too. Explained that her kid was being a sailor-mouthed little shit. She started yelling at us saying that her kid can do whatever he wants. So we said that if he's going to talk shit like an adult, then he's going to have shit talked back to him like he's an adult. She gets even more pissed. This is the best ducking part, I'm still laughing about this. The ducking grandmother gets on the mic and starts spouting off to us. She's saying that her daughter is a fantastic mother, and we need to leave them alone or she's going to call the police. We managed to piss a kid off so bad that we got yelled at by 3 generations of that family in the span of a few minutes. God, it was fantastic. For those of you that are curious, we were playing Advanced Warfare. TLDR, pissed a kid off so bad that we got yelled at by 3 generations of his family. All credit goes to /u/sc2bench, but I thought this was a really good story given the question. I have legitimately heard someone on my team break up with a girl during a game of Dota on voice. He was using open mic, and she was like, "Get off that stupid game, take me out to dinner," in this horribly entitled voice. After around 10 minutes of him being calm and saying things like, "It's okay baby, just let me finish this game, I will get punished if I leave," and her just not understanding that she issued an ultimatum, "If you don't turn that game off right now and take me to dinner, I am leaving," and he just typed in chat, "Pause please, need to break up with my girlfriend," and everyone lolled and paused, and the dude just went ducking ballistic, like, "This is my apartment, you stay here on my dime. I buy you all your food, I give you money to go shopping. You don't get to issue ultimatums to me when you don't have shit without me. Get the duck out of my apartment, this relationship is over." Then it was lots of her crying and yelling, and bringing up all this shit he did wrong in the past, as if that was going to help, and eventually he just said, "Sorry, relationship is over. I don't care. Bring a truck and one of those douchebag bar guys you love to duck so much to get your stuff tomorrow. See if any of them are willing to clothe, feed, house and duck you." And everyone on voice chat just went "Oh," and we were typing everything that was happening to the enemy team. He eventually got her out of the apartment, and boy did it sound like the guy had a world of pressure off his shoulders. After the game I friended him. We still talk on Steam sometimes. He really ended the relationship, and ended up just putting all her shit in a storage locker when she didn't come get it for a week. He has a new girl now who apparently isn't as awful. Was playing World of Tanks on Xbox 360, and this guy on my team, who was playing in a German tank, was blaring German military music from World War II over the mic. It wasn't strange, more so an out of the blue sort of thing. "I will eat you and shit you out, so I may fertilize my garden with your soul." Several years ago I was doing a 40-person raid in World of Warcraft. Many people in the guild were from Canada. At the time I lived in Oakland. We hear one guy around Napa call out, "Whoa." Then a few seconds later I feel a pretty substantial earthquake and announce it overwent. A few seconds a couple people around San Jose chime in their surprise too. It was pretty cool to hear how the quake rippled south in real time. Playing Call of Duty a few years back, heard a woman having a really vicious rant towards her husband who was in our team. Donk size was mentioned, mothers were berated and infidelity was confessed. The guy just played on. Call of Duty was his safe place. Not too strange, but a guy I raid with has voice activation instead of push to talk. So occasionally we'll hear him talking to his wife or daughter. Some examples: "Where's the remote? I don't know. Love you baby." To which the whole guild responds in, "Ah, love you tooth," and giggles. My girlfriend used to play World of Warcraft a lot, and was playing with her guild, and during a break she started playing with her dog and baby talking to it. She accidentally hadn't muted her mic, so her whole guild was listening, and they kept quiet and recorded it. The audio track was on the guild website for a while. Some friends and I were playing Call of Duty the day Bernie Mac died. We were talking about it, and a black guy on our team thought we were making it up. When we finally convinced him, he was quiet for a few seconds, then, in a very distraught tone, said, "Man, I gotta call my mama," and left the game. There was a guy who got on the microphone while his friend was playing, and told us, "Okay, time to get some culture you illiterate shits," and then proceeded to start reading the Brothers Karamazov out loud.